So when we were going through this and we were trying to do our trio, they all right? Okay. Sounded like a person. That was like, oh my goodness. So one of the things, and when we were putting the presentation together, I said, let me go online and see what you can find when you're talking about transgender just as a thing of films and what's available. And so what started to happen is, as I was going through, and I'm going to read some of them to you, I was thinking, wait a minute, I know some of these movies because some of them were really big in the community and in the larger demographics, but then I saw very quickly that it had no people of color, you know, regardless of anything. And so some of them, the list goes on, but let's see, Boys Don't Cry from 1999, Women in Revolt from 71, A Year of 13 Moons in 78, A Crying Game, 92, The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert in 94, Mavian Rose in 97, All About Mother in 99, Wild Side in 2004, Transamerica 2005, XXY, Soldier's Girl, Farewell to My Concubine, Tomboy, Southern Comfort, Transgeneration, Beautiful Boxer, Breakfast on Pluto, The Croquettes, Normal, Middle Sexes, Redefining He and She from 2005, Difference of Girls, In Butterfly, Danish Girl, Flawless, Victor Victoria, La Cage aux Folles, and The Birdcage. So I'm thinking, cute, you know, got a nice little list there, and then one of them did have, let's see, Paris is Burning. And I was like, oh, there's one film that at least can cover that. And so as I was going through, I being a community person and director of center that's specifically for Black gay men, I have a really extensive library. And I said, they don't have anything but that one on my own library. So I wanted to share some of those films with you all now. Let's see if I got this right. Yes! So, okay. Because I forget, you know, you haven't seen anything. So, this first one, and before I actually go into, I'm not going to go into what they all mean, but then at the end, when you have our email addresses, I can send this to you as well. So, I don't want you to all be rushing and trying to get them down. A lot of them will be available on Amazon, a lot of them probably on Netflix. But what I wanted to do is also, like what Bobby was talking about, what Hindu was talking about the fluidity of everything. You've got to be careful when you're talking about trans students, especially trans students of color or specifically African American, because it goes from A to Z. And so you may be thinking, okay, this particular one called Venus Boys is really about drag kings. Doesn't necessarily mean that they are transitioning their gender, but because people know what drag queens are, right? By shaking, okay, everyone know what a drag king is. Okay, so drag kings are females that will, I'm sorry, Lord. No, Encore, okay. Drag kings, it goes a different way. So this is, again, this is a regional thing too. So for us, where we are, drag kings will be female. They will be born females, but they will present when they are doing a performance. They're doing that as a male person. So Bobby, let's say, I can't think of someone new, a male singer. Think of a male singer that people will know today. Usher. So Bobby would be singing a song by Usher. Pull her hair back, put on a suit, do a whole dance and everything. You're like, uh-oh, interesting. Okay, so that would be that particular part for a drag king. Now it goes way, I mean, again in that, because I saw you shaking your head like, no. But for some of the other ones, it really is a little bit different. It doesn't have to really do with transitioning from gender, but some people do, and in this film, it does cover that. So I see you're shaking, so talk a little bit.
I do drag performance myself. Yeah, so how we, because in my troupe, we actually have trans people who are, who perform, and so our definition of drag performances is that it's a performance of gender, and how you present that can be king, queen, all the different descriptions. So it doesn't have to be like one certain body that's like visibly transforming to a different one.
Yeah, exactly. And so even with the, I didn't tell you all in my introduction, I'm also the president and founder of our National Black Pride. So in our area, although there may be some transitioning, most of the time it is just female, and it doesn't have to be a lesbian. It can be just a female who wants to do a male song and can really dance like Usher or Michael Jackson or whoever. And so they would, again, going through the years, this is one of the older films. Venus is from 2002, so we'll go through a couple of them here. So another one that people may not know is How Do I Look? Now, How Do I Look came out, I want to make sure my dates are good, is 2005. That was more about the ball community. Anyone know about the house ball community at all? Just about a couple of people. So we won't get into all of that, but this just gives you the overarching umbrella, almost like what they used to do with transgender. So you have the term transgender, and then you have all these things that fall under that category. This is something like that. So we'll go on. Again, this would be something that you would go, that's not about transgender. You know, that's Tu Wong Fu. And what are you talking about? But for some individuals, that can click on. And so I still wanted to put it on the list because of Noxzema. You know, because of I forgot his name. Lara, I can't remember his name now. But okay, so we'll go from there. This other one is brand new, came out just last year, called Tangerine. Keep on going, we'll just roll on through. Still Black, the full title is Still Black, A Portrait of Black Trans Men, that came from 2008. And then The Aggressives is something, again, different, not specifically about transgender. How many people have seen some of these? Has anyone seen any of these or at least heard of them? Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, keep going. Kinky Boots. Again, you're thinking, Kinky Boots, why would Kinky Boots be on there? But again, if you know the story, not the actual play part, then you know that that was a big part of him not necessarily transitioning on the film, but all of the things and challenges he went through. Okay. And Butch Mystique, something specifically different, more toward lesbian thing, but they really covered a lot of trans and gender identification, excuse me. Gun Hill Road, anyone know about Gun Hill Road?
This is a really good movie.
Yeah, I enjoy Gun Hill Road. I'm a native New Yorker from the Bronx, so Gun Hill Road is a street in the Bronx, and so it's really, really great. It's a Latino-based film, but it's really, really wonderful. The father goes to prison, and then while he's in prison, when he gets out, his son is transitioning. And so when he's coming home, he's like, what's going on? You know, trying to figure out what it's about. So it's a really great film. Paris is Burning, of course, is about the ball community, and that one was earlier. So Paris is Burning was 1990, and then How Do I Look, which is right next to it, came in 2005. So there's more coming out. There's another one coming out that's really going through the Pride festivals now called Kiki. Is it Kiki? Mm-hmm. It's called Kiki. And so again, as they go on, it's going to continue to start, but Paris is Burning started it. How Do I Look came after it, and now Kiki is coming. So they all have their transitional things. Is there any more in there? And then how about the Cookie Project? Does anyone remember the Cookie Project from 2005? Anyone? Okay, Cookie Project was really funny because this was the first film, it's a documentary, but it was a film of a male transitioning to female and still being heterosexual.
Bless you.
So dating a female. And so he was in the army, Cookie was in the army, and in this film, they had 20 minutes of the actual reassignment surgery. And so during my Pride event, you know, I was like, okay, it's gonna be graphic. You're gonna see it. And people, I don't know why they didn't believe me. They're like, I lied. And sure enough, when it got to the point they were talking about the surgery and everything, and all of a sudden, there it is. The doctor's there, they split the pink. I mean, it was very graphic. People were like, people going out, you didn't tell. Yes, I did. I had to pause it. I told y'all. And we got 15 more minutes of it, so get ready. And so, but again, if you hadn't seen some of these movies, it's really, really incredible why none of these were on these other lists. And these other lists were just done, you know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm thinking, how did these miss these large lists in the community when these are predominantly things of color? Is there any more in there? Okay, let's roll on. Okay, so transgender versus gender expression. Just by looking at this slide here, does anyone know at least 3 people?
Sure.
Raise your hand.
Janet Moore, Laverne Cox.
Okay.
Get it?
All right. Anyone else? We got a Laverne. So Laverne is, I'll come over here.
So anyone who wasn't mentioned.
This is Laverne. Okay, anyone else?
B. Scott.
Yes.
B. Scott. Janet Ma.
We just got married.
Is that a Maya?
Yeah, Maya, right here, very good. We didn't think you were going to get that one. Okay, anyone else? Anyone know who this young lady is? You can't, okay, it probably didn't come out really good. This is Isis. Anyone know about the name of Isis? Do you know where she was from? Isis was the first transgendered person on the America's Next Top Model. Let's see, who did we miss? Oh, these two. Anyone know who these two are? I know you can't probably see it. This is T.S. Madison. If I say the name, does that sort of give you anything?
Social media.
Social media, you know, icon now. She's been in a lot of them. She has a book. She's actually done porn. It's a whole bunch of different things. So it goes from A to Z. If you pull up T.S. Madison, you're going to go, oh my gosh, there's going to be so much going on. And even Janet Ma had interviewed her when she was doing the book. So you'll be able to see. What about this young lady here? Anyone? This is Fox Giselle. Now this isn't who we were playing before. For Fox Giselle is also a transgender rapper. And so, yeah, so that's what that is. All right, next one, let's see.